Hey everybody, quick video. This is going to be about holsters. These two holsters you see right here are handmade in the United States by a gentleman on eBay named Dean5242. As most of you know, the typical holster that we will buy for these guns are the, what are they, K-Stat, or I can't remember the exact name, but the ones you get in Cabela's. They're like 30 bucks or so, and they're good holsters for a beginning start for these guns. However, the leather on them is kind of poor quality. It's very thin. It's easily manipulated. I can fold this thing in half. This little retaining strap right here is pretty crappy. It works in the beginning, but over time it starts to stretch because the leather is so thin and so malleable that when you do have the guns in there, I can draw my gun without even, having to unbutton the strap. Another problem I have with these cheapy Cabela's holsters is they're not dyed on the inside. They're kind of like this frayed leather, and they just have the typical, like leather color, whatever the color of the leather is. And the black powder stains it, as you can see. It's all got all this black char all over on the inside, and it gets really ugly after time. The only good thing about these is they do have a button right here that you can pop off to quickly disconnect the holster from your belt, which I do like. That's the only thing I do like about these holsters. Another problem with these cheapy holsters is you can see the stitching is just completely visible. The bottom of the long holster for like the 7-8 inch guns, it doesn't have the little straps to tie your legs onto, or to tie it to your leg. So when you walk around with these holsters like this on your side and you move your leg up, this thing flaps around and it always bangs my pocket, so I can hear my keys banging around or my phone or whatever is there. And that's kind of annoying. And it looks a little odd to see it wiggling around on your leg when you're walking, because I do carry this in public sometimes. Now these holsters are different. They are open bottom, so the barrel is exposed on the bottom, and that's actually a good thing. And the reason why you want something like this is because when you keep a gun in a holster that's completely blocked off, moisture, and yes, this does happen, moisture can actually build up in your holsters. It can actually start to rust your guns. So you want to open bottom to keep it breathing. Another cool thing about these, and this one has it as well, I just have it off, is the strap, like I said. So he gives you plenty of slack. I mean, this is a good 24 inches at least. So this is plenty of slack. And I'm a big guy, so you see how big my leg is right here. So I have plenty of extra room to tie it to my hip, to my lower leg, and I still have a lot left over. I actually have to cut some of it off because it's a little too much. So, and the leather on these is very stiff. So I can move it, as you can see, but it's not so loose to where the gun just flops around like in the cheapy holsters over here. And what's cool about this holster, or these holsters, is they're priced amazingly. I don't see how Dean makes money off of these. To be honest, I would have paid more than what he's charging, because he's doing free shipping, and it's $48 for the smaller holsters, like the 1860s and under, and it's $54 for the Walker. That's an amazing deal for a holster like this compared to these $30+ holsters that you can buy in Cabela's or online. Now, a cool thing about these holsters that I like is the branding that he does. This one is a snake, like some kind of rattlesnake or something. And look at that. I mean, I don't know if I can zoom in any more without it getting blurry, but that is beautiful. That yellow color is just amazing. The branding, the detail in there. This guy knows what he's doing. The branding on the outskirts of the leather, the branding where the stitching, I don't know if there's stitching in here or if it's glue. I'm not exactly sure because it's branded so well. And again, this one is open bottom. I believe they are all open bottom, which is a good thing. You want them to be open bottom, especially if you're storing these long term. Now the leather on these is really thick as well. I don't want to say it's twice as thick as the cheap ones, but it's definitely 1.5 times thicker. So it is thicker leather. If this thing will focus. And another cool thing about this is he's one of the few people that actually make holsters for the walkers. You cannot find holsters for the 1847 walkers anywhere unless you go to custom websites, and those places charge $150+ for a holster easy. This is only $54. Again, handmade. The guy lives in Arizona, I believe. Again, it's not overly stiff and it's not overly soft. See, I can't really bend that, and that's what you want. So it does have a retention strap for a strap for the hammer. This one I did take off, and I left it on here, so it works perfectly. This I actually had my Remington in it, so I need to tighten it a little bit. It's a little loose, yeah, the retention, it works. It's great, and even that is branded. So, and there's plenty of slack for this, as you can see, so you can loosen it, tighten it. Now he advertises this. Here's the branding for this one. It's a cross, which is beautiful. Again, I actually contacted him and I asked if he could make another one of these holsters. It doesn't have to be left or right-handed. I actually kind of prefer a right-handed one because I like to have butt out for my left-hand side, so I can use my right hand to grab that gun easier. That's just the way I see it, because I do carry two in public sometimes, okay? Now he advertises this one as 1860 Army only. I did mention to him that it does fit a 1851 Navy as well. I actually take that back. He mentions 1858 Remington, but he doesn't mention the 1851 Navy. So the gun in here is a 1860 Army, as you can see. This thing is pretty dirty. I'm getting ready to clean all my guns. I've actually waited too long to clean this, and you can see that there is some kind of black powder fouling on the polished steel, which kind of sucks. But yeah, the holster's great. It fits perfect. So that's the 1860. Sorry, it's a little windy out here. This is the Remington. Sorry, my cylinder is in the water. So the Remington fits perfectly. It does stick out a little bit more, but it looks great. I mean, look at that. That's beautiful. I actually do like the brass guns better than the steel. And the brass looks great with that yellow branding. It really does. So this one doesn't have a quick disconnect for the belt. So you do have to take your belt off to put the holster on. But it can easily support 3-4 inch belt. I don't even know if there's a 4-inch belt. But it can easily support that. Here's how he secured it in the back with some kind of rivets. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not a leather worker. Sorry. Here is the full back of the holster. As you can see, it's completely branded down there as well. Down here, and you can see that's where the leg strap would have been, but I took that off for this one. And another thing I like about these holsters is they're black on the inside, because remember I mentioned that the cheapy holsters, they're not dyed. So the black powder on this, you won't notice the fouling on the leather like you will on those. So those will get extremely filthy. This one, you won't notice it one bit. So, and it does have a really nice shine to it. You see that shine, that little shimmer? I'm not sure how he does that. I've actually never seen holsters quite like this that have the shine to it. Everybody else's holsters have that plain matte finish like the cheapy ones over here. So if you guys want a holster that has a hammer strap that is nice and stiff, that's open bottom so the holster can breathe, and has really neat brandings on here, check him out. His name is Dean5242, I believe, on eBay. I will post a link for his page on this video description. And he doesn't just sell holsters for the 47 Walker or the 1860. Again, this will fit in 1860, 1858, and in 1851. I have all three. I've tried all three. They work perfectly. I think he needs to change the description for this to include all three models, because when you do a search, you don't find his holster for an 1851 Navy, unfortunately, because he doesn't include that in there. And I think it's because he wasn't sure if it fit or not, but it fits beautifully. So, again, let me know if you guys buy one of his holsters and if you like them or not. Post a comment in the video if you have any questions. You can also email him on his eBay page if you have any questions. And I think he might make a custom holster for you if you want a specific brand or a specific color. You just got to ask him. I know that's what I did. I also made a suggestion for the Sheriff models, because he doesn't have any holsters currently for the Sheriff version of the black powder guns. But he just emailed me saying he has Sheriff models coming out. He just cut them. He's going to be dyeing them, and I guess putting them together soon. So check that out before I buy it, because I'm probably going to buy that on top of the other holster for the 1851 Navy or whatever, because I want to. Because I don't like these ugly. They're just ugly. But yeah, check him out. He also has holsters, I believe, for the Ruger 22s. I believe for the 1873 single action as well. So yeah, just check it out. Support the guy. Don't buy this crap that's made in China. Support someone who makes handmade products in the United States, who does a great job. So that's all I have to say. Thanks, guys.